10 Best Places to Visit in Maldives. Passed on to the leniency of the delicate and lapping Indian Sea, the islands of the Maldives have been etched and shaped into certainly one of the most quintessentially lovely tropical puts on the globe. Going from the powdered seashores of the northern atolls to the gritty ocean shacks and fishing villages of the southern isles, the entire country can be found flung across the turquoise waters some way from the Indian subcontinent. Most guests will land in the pulsating, beating city of Male, pressed onto its own pinprick of an isle and flaunting zest-scented markets and extraordinary mosques. Most additionally don't wait some time before they hit the seaplanes or boats and make for the shining confidential bayous of their picked retreat, where boundlessness pools and over-water cabanas are the standard. All the more as of late, new neighborhood guest houses and the revelation of moving waves have started changing the Maldives from wedding trip area of interest to surfing, experience and hiking objective. Heaven is presently open to all, it appears. 1. Male. Droning with bikes and vehicles and Indian markets stacked with coconuts and zest, the city of Male, the capital of the Maldives atolls, has the excited feel of a spot packed into a space that is excessively little for it. What's more, that is on the grounds that it is. Albeit seldom visited, most voyagers sidestep the city on seaplanes going directly toward their hotel. The town is packed onto a smallish islet in the North Male Atoll. It figures out how to fit a few interesting sights between its roads however, similar to the 17th-century Friday Mosque and the gold-tipped Islamic Center. Male market is another unquestionable requirement. Simply be certain raise your wheeling and dealing abilities to an acceptable level. 2. Hulhu Male Island. Sat right across the shimmering waters from the capital of Male, the island of Hulhu Male is always endlessly developing as increasingly more land is recovered to house the rambling metropolitan ringlets of the city. It's additionally the home of the Valena Global Air Terminal, which is the primary entryway to these paradisiacal islands generally speaking. In any case, don't be put off by how all that sounds. Hulhu Male is really an enchanting spot. It has a lovely, if counterfeit, oceanside on its eastern backside, a grip of verdant areas, a glass-bested mosque, and arranged promenade walkways over the Indian Sea. 3. Mayfushi. Mayfushi probably won't have the rambling extravagance resorts and lavish five-star lodgings that a large number of its close-by siblings do, yet it has a lot of appeal. Unfortunately assaulted in the 2004 Indian Sea tidal wave, the spot has been occupied with remaking its salt-washed fishing piers and enterprising mariner cottages somewhat recently. Something helped is the opening up of freedoms to nearby guest houses, which is changing Mayfushi into one of the top odd island escapes for spending planned voyagers. Obviously, you can expect beautiful seashores supported with palms, lapping waves, and a grasp of genial little cafes on the shore. 4. Uthimu. Sat on the far northern scopes of the Ha-Alif Atoll, itself the northernmost of all the Maldivian island chains, the lovely site of Uthimu holds a unique spot throughout the entire existence of this archipelago country. That is on the grounds that it was once the home of the worshipped King Muhammad Thakurafa'anu, the pioneer who's credited with driving out Portuguese trespassers from the Isles in the late 16th 100 years. Obviously, there are the typical shining white sands and lapping Indian sea waves, yet these are interspersed by legacy locales like the Uthimu Gandavaru, which is the dazzling wood-assembled royal residence where the regarded pioneer grew up. 5. Fadu. In the 19th 100 years, individuals currently living between the verdant roads and very close lodging blocks here were the occupants of adjacent Gan Island, favoring that one later. At the point when the English came in the approach World War II, Gan was changed into an airbase, and local people were transported out to live on the following island along in the Sinu Atoll. That was Fadu, which is today a beautiful image of lived-in Maldivian life. Come and walk the winding walkways and test fish curries with local people. The greeting is in every case warm. 6. Maradu. Joined at the hip to previously mentioned Fadu by a coastline highway that runs simply over the coral-bordered shores of the Sinu Atoll, Maradu is a significant connection in the island chain that begins with Gan toward the east. Long and slight, it sticks out into the Indian Sea like a finger bordered with tight ocean fronts and influencing forests of coconut palms. As in Fadu, local people are easygoing and wonderful, and the cooking is fiery and wealthy in fish. Make certain to go for a stroll down Connection Street and flutter between the cafes and sandwich merchants that meet between the palm trees there. 7. Velagandu Island. Velagandu Island. Heartfelt nightfalls gleam red and yellow over the lapping waters of the Indian Sea. Mixed drinks clunk in the retreat's rich bar. Ocean kayaks sway on the turquoise coastline, and perfectly clear waves roll in delicately from the inland tidal pond. Welcome to super lovely Velagandu Island, which has for some time been advocated as one of the top objections in the Maldives for couples. Honeymooners and recently marries are a typical sight on this long, slender finger of land on the western edge of the North Ari Atoll, and there are a lot of lavish shoreline manners and suites to mat. 8. Banana Reef. Numerous explorers going to the islands of the Maldives will be coming for a certain something and one thing, as it were, jumping. Furthermore, there's not really a solitary better spot to wear the scuba gear and wetsuits in the country than at the Banana Reef. This organic product formed smidgen of multi-shaded corals and kelp-clad shoals lies submerged between the isles of the North Male Atoll. It's served by endless suppliers, who lead journeys to reveal the striped snappers and bulbous wipes, the reef sharks and the barracudas that all blend here. 9. Thulisdu Island. The soul of the salt-washed Caribbean appears to drive Thulisdu Island. Generally unseen, this bit in the Male Atolls is ringed by wide spaces of sand from which bulbous coconut trunks sprout in huge numbers. The seashores are, normally, extraordinary, and local people love to attract their blurring fishing boats to stone up a decent sizzling fish grill from time to time. That all fits impeccably with the other side interest of explorers on Thulisdu, surfing. Search for the tomfoolery left-hand rollers that transform into barrels off of Vilanjilamathi Hara nearby. 10. Kurdu. Kurdu is oneself broadcasted gem of the Lavayani Atoll, which makes its home in the focal north reaches of the Maldivian archipelago. A boomerang-formed isle, it's completely covered by a solitary hotel, which offers provincial bamboo shacks and columns of those universal over-water cabins with verandas over the waves. The entire spot is totally encircled by its own private bordering of fine sand, and is viewed as one of the most developed scuba and swimming objections in the nation. Solid flows and high waves frequently make it challenging to see the manta beams and tropical schools. Bizarrely, Kurdu likewise plays host to an entire 9 opening green.